Welcome to the final night of Hanukkah, the 8th night of Hanukkah, Zos Hanukkah, as our rabbis tell us. There is an interesting question that one can ask on so many of the various paragraphs and liturgical uses of praise that we have for the holiday of Hanukkah, specifically talking about now Hanerus Halalu. There is a paragraph that we say after we light the menorah, Hanerus Halalu anachnu madlikin al hanisim yal neflos ve'al teshuos ve'al hamechmosha asita la'avoteinu, and we say the words Ayidei Kohanecha Hakadoshim. We don't even really mention God's name. We just say that this was done through the Kohanecha Hakadoshim, the holy Kohanim. And there's an important question that we can ask, and that is, why are we thanking the Kohanim for the miracle that took place? Like, shouldn't we be praising Hashem, saying, hey, thanks, God, for allowing this miracle to happen? No, we don't do that. We say, thank you, Kohanim. And so the obvious question is, why thank the Kohanim instead of doing the opposite, which is, or the obvious rather, which is thanking God? Explains Rabbi Levi Yitzchak Miberditchev, you have to understand what it is that the Kohanim represent. The Kohanim brought about or helped to bring about the salvation in the Hanukkah story, and Kohanim represent love, and they represent chesed. They represent midos that are the opposite of gevura, of strength. Kohanim, we don't normally see or conceptualize them as these mighty warriors. We see them as the Aaron HaKohens, the Ohev Shalom Verodev Shalom. They love peace. They chase after peace. They want to just be good, kind, loving individuals. And quite literally, says Rabbi Levi Yitzchak Miberditchev, that the Kohanim were able to be victorious in the battle against the Greeks, both spiritually and physically, not because of sheer might, but because of their ability to tap into chesed and to tap into love. And says Rabbi Levi Yitzchak that Hashem could have brought about the miracles, through the midah, through the trait of gevura, of strength. But sometimes when we have to use the midah of strength, there is a negative result that comes out of it. But over here, we praise and thank Hashem as we recognize that the miracle happened al yidei Kohanecha Hakadoshim, that the specific miracles that took place happened not through gevura, but through chesed, through ahava, through love, and that the miracle coming from kindness, coming from this source of sweet and simple beauty in the world, that is what enabled the Hanukkah story and the Hanukkah celebration to have so much beauty, power, and splendor associated with it. Ultimately, we see in life that there are these two different ways that we can deal with all conflict, all issues. One is by fighting, one is by anger, one is by smashing back with gevura, and the other is by adding love and light to the world, by adding kindness to the world. It's not just a simple, cute cliche or some concept that was developed in the 70s in the hippie movement. It is simply the way in which we want to live our lives, specifically through the perspective of trying to use the holiday of Hanukkah as this paradigm of salvation. That the way we eradicate the darkness is by bringing more light, by bringing more love, by bringing more chesed. Gevura, strength, is necessary at times. But let's do whatever we can to push the strength and the force and the brute anger aside to allow us to utilize the inner light and love within us. That's what Hanukkah ultimately is all about. And as we celebrate this final 8th night of Hanukkah, let us commemorate and realize that with all the evil and all the terrors in the world, the best thing that we can do to eradicate the evil is by fighting this evil, this fire, with love. It sounds so silly to utter those words because we know the cliche, but it's so true. Love more, give more, be kind to others, and in so doing, God willing, we can cause a recreation of the miracle of Hanukkah in modern times to bring about the salvation of the Jewish people. B'mehira v'yameinu, amen. We hope and pray that next Hanukkah we are celebrating together in the land of Israel, rebuilt, the city of Jerusalem, the temple rebuilt, and God willing, it should be a year of light, of love, and chesed.